Hey there, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys for joining me today for home fragrance empties. This is going to be both Scentsy as well as vendor wax. I always have timestamps in the description box if you want to just jump to a certain vendor, or if you only want to see Scentsy, you can do that. So I'll start with Scentsy, and I will start with the non-wax items. Finished off a scent circle in Day on the Field. This was from the Father's Day collection in 2024. Love this collection. I've talked about it a lot, and I am almost done with all of my scent circles. I probably have maybe 4 or 5 of them left, and then I will have completely used up my scent circle stash. I like them for the car, but they don't last the longest. I definitely wish they had a longer life to them. The longevity was better, but they do scent my car nicely for the few days that they have scent. And I finished off a Scentsy Fresh and Fluffy Fleece. I think Fluffy Fleece is one of those you either love it or you hate it types of fragrances. I'm in the camp of loving it. It is laundry and it is very strong, but I really like this scent. The Scentsy Fresh, it's like a fabric spray. So kind of like you would use a Febreze spray on linens. So I will spray this on my curtains. I spray this a lot on my bed. Actually, that's what I use it the most on, or on the living room furniture, like couches and things like that. So when I wash my sheets on the weekends, I will spray this like on top of the mattress topper, because I don't wash the mattress topper every week, right? But I will spray this on the mattress topper, or also just on like the comforter, things like that. Just any surface, any cloth type surface that you want to give a refresh. I think these are great. So absolutely love the Scentsy Fresh. You can buy them in a 3-pack as well as individually, and I'm already on my next bottle of Fluffy Fleece. Then I've got 4 bars, and I've got a puppy sitting here looking at me. I'm waiting for him to start crying for attention. Oh, there he goes. Good boy. He makes me feel so bad. Like he's had no attention all day long. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going. So like I said, I have 4 bars this week from Scentsy. First is a sweet plum pastry. This bar is beat up. I don't know if you can tell, the clam is cut in the corner, how yellow and juicy this bar is. It is very discolored, but I love sweet plum pastry. This has notes of black plum, toasted coconut, and marshmallow. This is a very strong, sweet, juicy plum scent. I think the name is misleading. There really is no pastry or bakery note to it at all. It is very fruit forward. I really like this bar though. This was my first ever Scentsy love, and I know it's a love for many people. It's one that I definitely would like to see come back. And that one's a powerhouse that will go for many a day. A old Bring Back My Bar in Rainforest. I don't have the notes on this one. I picked it up in the clearance section, I think in May. This is a nice, fresh green scent. This was pretty in my bedroom and I enjoyed this. Not one that I think I need more of, but very fresh green, kind of aquatic scent. Good for spring and summer. Pineapple Coconut Vanilla. Maybe this was June that this was in the clearance, this one, but I picked up a couple bars of this scent because I think that this is the one that Elizabeth from Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents here on YouTube, I think this is the bar that she really loves. And this is really pretty. I melted it in this wax room. Was it just yesterday that I melted this? It's coconut, but kind of perfumey and floral in some nature. The pineapple is not that artificial pineapple. Like, I don't care for the pina colada cha-cha because that pineapple is very intense, kind of artificial, chemically. I don't get that from this at all. This is much more kind of coconut, vanilla, pretty floral fragrance. Really nice for the bedrooms. And then last from Scentsy for this week, I have Blue Skies and Bergamot. This is the July scent of the month, and I was able to get this in the June whiff box. Now, this is a pretty scent. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Ocean Shimmer that's currently in the catalog, where it's a little bit of a musky, aquatic fragrance, but it's not the best performer. The scent appeal is very there for me. If you like those musky fragrances, if you like Ocean Shimmer, I would definitely put this in the same scent family, but I don't get great performance from this one. So not sure I would pick any more of it up, and I think I just prefer Ocean Shimmer that's in our current catalog. I think I like that one better. So that's it for Scentsy this week. For vendor wax, I melted one from L3 Waxy Wonders. This is one of the Bitty Betties, which is the smaller loaves in Salty Sea Air. This is hands down the best Salty Sea Air I have ever smelled. I've talked about L3 Salty Sea Air quite a bit in the past, and this was one fragrance that when L3 was closing that I was concerned about. Like, I wanted to be stocked up on it, and luckily I am. I have quite a bit of Salty Sea Air from L3 in my stash, but there's just something about this oil. I mean, I love all Salty Sea Airs. There's not one that I have found from anybody that I dislike, but something about this oil is just so beautiful. And I was watching one of Chris's Empties videos the other day, and she was talking about L3's Salty Sea Air, and she described it perfectly. You know, she said it almost has like a hint of a perfuminess to it. And when she said that, I was like, yes, I totally agree with that. There's just something a little bit extra. It makes it a little bit more feminine, a little bit, teeny tiny bit body care leaning, or just, yeah, perfumey in some ways. But it is that strong, sharp, fresh, aquatic, Salty Sea Air. It is gorgeous. Absolutely love it and enjoyed every second of that. And like I said, I have quite a bit of backup. At Kay's Scent and Melts, I'm still going through some samples. So last week I had chatted about how I have been using these samples in my third bedroom. So I've continued that this week. So I used Country Blessings. Really enjoyed this one. This is Fir Balsam, Cedarwood, Whipped Cream, and Cinnamon. If you like kind of a spicy tree scent, perfect for the holiday season. That was really nice. Raindrops, Rainwater, Dewy Greens, and Light Florals. Really nice, fresh, crisp green scent. And then today I have Apple Caramel Crunch going in there. And it's just kind of like what you would anticipate. It's that really nice caramel apple scent. Perfect for early fall, not too heavy. You definitely have to like cider lane, caramel apple types of fragrances, but this is really nice as well. From Super Tarts, I finished off 2 bricks. So her bricks are essentially clamshells without the clam. They are in the bags instead of in the clamshell plastic mold, which I honestly prefer these. I like her clamshells. They don't give me that plasticky scent that some clamshells can give, but the bag I think is just even better. So first up we have Strawberry Pound Cake. Now, I've talked about her Strawberry Pound Cake before, but in my opinion, it's one of the best. There are 3 vendors that I really feel nail Strawberry Pound Cake. Super Tarts, Lavender and Speckles, and Knowles Farm Scents. I also love Teddy B's House strawberry pound cake. Tiffany from Teddy B's has two. She's got the Bath and Body Works type and then the house type. I love the house type that she has, but I think those three vendors, Super Tarts, Knowles, and Lavender and Speckles, really do fantastic strawberry pound cake. So this is freshly sliced strawberries, vanilla cream, and pound cake. Similar to the Bath and Body Works type. This one, I don't know if it's almost like it's got extra strawberry to it. To me, it's almost like you took strawberry pound cake from Bath and Body and you added fresh strawberries to it. It's like you have a strawberry flavored pound cake, but then you've got fresh strawberries on top or something like that. There's just something extra about this that isn't just the typical Bath and Body Works strawberry pound cake, and I love it. A few years back, she did a strawberry pound cake sampler, strawberry pound cake salty sea air, strawberry pound cake Paulo. I have a couple of those blends still in BAM bags, and I absolutely love those. And then from Super Tarts, I melted C'est La Vie. So this is a Jaws blend. This is Jaws plus pink sugar. I want to say this one used to be Ellen, I think, if you're familiar with her old names, or if you like to know that for comparison purposes. So sea salt, ozone, seagrass, plum, pear, and pink sugar. Melted this brick in my bedroom. It is currently going in my bedroom and it is on day 2. And it is gorgeous. You mainly get the Jaws, and I'm getting just kind of hints of the sweetness from the pink sugar. I feel like that's pretty typical in my experience with most of her Jaws blends, that the Jaws scent is the strongest, and then you get kind of hints of whatever is blended with it. There are not too many of her Jaws blends that I think the additional note stands out so strongly, like and overtakes the rest of them. So this one, it was a good compliment. The pink sugar complemented it really well. This was good. I haven't had this one in a really long time. I kind of have my favorite scents in the Jaws line that I really stick to and just kind of keep repurchasing, but I would get this one again. It's been really, really nice in my bedroom. Okay, I'm trying to go from like least to most. So 2 from Second and Spruce. Still working on my Second and Spruce that is in my summer melting basket, and I am darn near close to being done. I want to say I've got maybe 2 tubs left or so in my summer melting basket, so I feel really good about that. I've made some good progress there. So first up for Second and Spruce, we have Polka Dot Bikini. This was from the Summer 11 sampler that she did last summer. I can't even believe that was a year ago. Time is such a weird thing because it truly feels like I just did this haul video showing the Summer 11 sampler when it got here. I don't know. Does time feel weird to anybody else? It just feels like this last year has just, I don't know where the time has gone. In any case, this is What the Melon Rita, Salty Sea Air, and Hawaiian Tropic. I have this going in my open concept right now. So I put this in this morning before I went to work because I could just tell this is going to be a 2 or 3 day powerhouse scent. Her What the Melon Rita, her kind of very beachy focused scents have always been powerhouses for me. Like we'll go 2, 3, 4 days. And so when I decided I was going to melt this one, I thought, I think you can put the scent in now because it will smell so good when you get home from work. You won't have to change the wax tonight, and I probably won't change the wax until I come home from work tomorrow. So in another like 24 hours. That's how strong this is. Now granted, this was a mini loaf, and I'm doing the mini loaf throughout my whole open concept. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's 9 warmers that I have in my open concept. So, oh, I'm dropping it. Split the mini loaf between the 9 warmers and it is a powerhouse. And I melted a tub that I have been waiting to melt for a while. And I don't know why I didn't melt this last summer, but I guess just trying to go through my oldest wax first. But Cola Pop. Now, I'm a big cola fan and wax, you guys. I've talked about cola, in particular Wacky Cake from Super Tarts. That's my love. I love Wacky Cake from Super Tarts. It is cola, cake batter, and zucchini bread, I think. So when Erica brought out this one, the notes, everything about it, I was like, sign me up. I don't hear very many people talk about cola scents. Give it a try. Give it a try. If you don't like super fizzy, or if you like a little bit of fizzy but kind of with a twist, this is such a perfect summertime scent. Now, I'm a big Coca-Cola fan in general. It's my favorite soda. I love Coca-Cola, or like I like to call them, a fridge cig. You know, like the thing you're not supposed to have but you really like having. That's my Diet Coke. So this has notes of cola, vanilla cake pops, cake batter ice cream, and waffle cone. A cola bakery scent, I'm telling you, this is amazing. It smells like you have a fresh can of Diet Coke open right in front of me, and then you've got some bakery goodies out on the counter as well. So, so pretty. So I have a tub of this, and actually have one more, thank goodness. I loved this. So one day on the weekend, I guess this was this past Saturday, I melted half of the tub throughout my open concept. And I put that in probably around 5 a.m. or so. By noon, I could still smell it, but a lot of the fizzy cola parts of this scent had really died off. So it still was throwing, but it wasn't what it was anymore. You know what I mean? Like a lot of that fizzy cola-ness had kind of really softened or burned off pretty quickly, and I was left with like this flat soda type of scent. So I would say I adored this for probably a good 6 hours, and after about the 6 hour mark, it started kind of falling short for me. But all I did, I cleaned out the warmers, I took the other half of the tub and I refreshed the whole open concept, and then it went for the rest of the day. So I ended up using this whole tub in one day, but in kind of 2 different melting sessions, because yeah, I just felt like halfway through the day it needed a refresh. The good stuff had burned off. But love this. I really love cola scents though, so highly recommend. I have another one luckily, so I probably will save that for next summer. I don't know, I don't see very many people offering cola scents, nor do I see very many people requesting cola scents. So if I find a cola or so that I like, I stock up because they don't really get brought out very often. So I've got that one that I love, and I've got Wacky Cake from Super Tarts, but that's really it. Those are the only like 2 big cola fragrances that I love. Now Super Tarts does have quite a few of them. Some of them I like, some of them I don't as much. Wacky Cake is by far my number 1. And then that Cola Pop from Second and Spruce is definitely number 2. So give it a try if she does offer it. Okay, long ramble for probably most people that don't care. Next, let's go on to Lavender and Speckles. I melted some of my barbershop sampler this past week. So I have both a bag and then like a sampler cup in barbershop vanilla birch and roasted pine cones. Oh, if I could get that to focus. No, okay, just take my word for it. Barbershop vanilla birch and pine cones. I love this one so much. I mean, you guys know how I feel about barbershop in general. And then you add in the creamy vanilla birch, the roasted pine cones. This is beautiful, beautiful. Perfect for any time of year, honestly. It's very masculine leaning, very cologne leaning. But I guess you could say this is a slightly more winterized version of barbershop. Love it so much. I do have more of that. And then one of the standouts for me from that barbershop sampler was barbershop and citrus. And I am not a big citrus person. I think Matt came up with this blend actually. And this one took me by such a surprise. The citrus is so nice and refreshing, and it's not over the top. It just adds like an extra refreshing kind of crispness to the masculine cologne barbershop. I adored this. And I've melted many of these, but definitely one of the standouts from that sampler. And I've seen other people talk about this, so this probably is old news, but I'm going to mention it just in case you haven't used this formula this way. These scent cups were in her olive oil formula. Now, she offers that, or has offered that quite a bit in the past. That formula is incredibly soft. It's kind of a pain in the butt to chop. I actually don't buy this formula too often because I don't want to chop it or kind of deal with the mess. I much prefer the parasoy buns if I can get it, or like the clams, etc. But something I have been doing with these scent shots and just her olive oil formula in general, use it like a scoop. You know, you get the scoops from L3 when you buy a scoop, or at least you used to, I guess. I don't know if the new owner is still doing that, but you know what I'm talking about. Use a scoop and scoop this out. Don't chop it. You're gonna be happier using it as a scoop. I guarantee it. So just a little tip if you're not using your olive oil formula that way. From the Rain sampler that Melissa Ferguson did, I melted through Blackberry Rain. This is Rain, Blackberry, Palo, and Mallow Fireside. This was really good, very, very strong. Melted this in the wax room here. You got a lot of the Rain. I felt like I had to kind of search for the other notes a little bit. The Rain oil is amazingly beautiful, but most of the scents in this Rain sampler, the Rain was just so intense. And I wish the Rain would have been knocked down just a smidge, because I do feel like it kind of drowns out some of the other scents. There is one scent that I have found so far, I still have quite a few to melt, from the sampler that I am in love with, and it's a Walk in the Rain. It's like rain, peppermint, and fresh cut grass. That one I really can get all the notes from, and it is glorious. This one, I felt like I was just mainly getting the Rain. Still really liked it, still really enjoyed it, but just can't say that I got a lot of the other notes. From the Earl Grey sampler, I think this was, Earl Grey, roasted pine cones, and linen. So I didn't get this sampler, but I got this clamshell when she offered some of the blends, like maybe in the next pre-order or so. This was beautiful. The roasted pine cones wasn't very strong. I feel like I got a lot of the tea and a lot of the linen. Not overly laundry or anything like that. I think the tea is the prominent note, but you get the freshness from the linen, slightly woodsy, earthy notes from the pine cones. This was beautiful. I absolutely would get this again. I have at least one more, if not a couple more of these Earl Grey scents that I'm excited to melt. And then last for Lavender and Speckles, I have Summer's blend in He Said, She Said. So I've had this clamshell for a while, and then Miss Summer Michelle is doing a, what is it called? Campfire Marshmallow sampler. Is that right? Campfire Marshmallow? I'm pretty sure. sampler with Beth for the fall pre-order, available on August 1st. I don't know if this video will go up before then. I hope so. In any case, this is part of the sampler, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I have that. Let me dig through my collection and see. And sure enough, I did. And so I popped this in the warmers the next time I needed to change the wax, because I wanted to see what it was like. This is blue sugar, pink sugar, campfire marshmallow, Palo Santo, and sugar cookie royale. This was glorious. Now, I love the combination of pink and blue sugar. Trickin' and Treatin' from Teddy Bees, that scent has that combination, and that was all I needed to like get me into the combination of pink and blue sugar. Gorgeous. Now, this one kind of took a little bit to get going. It melted it in this room, and I kept coming in here like searching for it. But about 2 hours or so after I put it in the warmers, then all of a sudden it was like, bam. It was coming out of this room, down the hallway. I could smell it in the open concept. This is so pretty. If you like pink and blue sugar, if you like slightly smoky scents, this is not overly smoky. It's definitely more on the sweeter side. It is a beautiful combination. I'm really glad that this is in the campfire marshmallow sampler. I'm excited to get more of it. So that was He Said, She Said. Then last vendor we have is Teddy Bees. Still doing good. Okay. I've had quite the realization. I shouldn't even say that because that sounds dramatic, and I feel like I come on here occasionally and I'm like, I had this mental breakdown about my wax, but that's kind of how I feel with my Teddy Bees right now. I started looking at the wax. Like, I have wax piled up here, right? Because I moved all of the wax into this room. And it is 95% Teddy Bees. I've also got Teddy Bees in this green unit here. It is out of control. And if I melted Teddy Bees every day for like 2 years, maybe I would get through my stash. Maybe. And that's crazy, okay? So I've kind of had this realization that I have way too much Teddy Bees. I knew this clearly, and I don't know what I need to do. I really don't want to destash it because I love it and I want to use it, but I almost need to like change my melting strategy and melt Teddy Bees every day or every other day, something like that, you know? Like, I need to melt more Teddy Bees. For so long, it's been my precious wax, my precious Teddy Bees, that I haven't wanted to melt it Monday through Friday when I'm at work because I don't want to waste it, and I don't have that much time when I get home from work before it's time to go to bed. So it feels like a waste to use a Teddy Bee scent during the work week. However, well, 2 things. 1, you shouldn't wait for your special stuff, right? Like, we could, any of us could die tomorrow. You shouldn't wait for your special things. And I know this. But 2, I just want to not waste it. And I want to be home and be able to smell it. And so I've kind of relegated it to the weekends or days off or whatever. And that's great, but that's not going to touch what I have going on. It's just not. So I need to go through what I have in my summer melting basket first. That's Teddy Bees, and so I'm going to start working on that. I chopped up all my loaves, etc. But I'm going to make a big push to be melting Teddy Bees darn near every day, or let's say every other day. Like, more of a push to not just be using my Teddy Bees on the weekends. I need to be using it consistently throughout the week. Like, maybe I say that's always my open concept melt, or I don't know, and just I could do something else, whether it's Scentsy or different vendor wax than the other areas of the home, but I have to make a push to get through some Teddy Bees. I do. So here's the start of that. So I have one sample from Summer. Thank you, Summer. This is the Peony and Blushed Suede. This is a Jo Malone perfume type. Now, I've never smelled this perfume, so I can't tell you if it's a dupe or not. It says it's the Jo Malone type with my own little sprinkle of something more. This is a really pretty kind of floral perfume. Definitely get like a peony, maybe like a little bit of a musk or something kind of sweeter. A very pretty scent. I would totally get some of this for the bedrooms if it was ever offered. I pulled a tub of Just Pink Vanilla. Now this one is pink sugar blended with Madagascar vanilla, creamed vanilla, lily of the valley, and musk. I was very excited to melt this one because I melted Just Vanilla, I don't know, a few months back and was blown away by it. That was a scent that for me, it was okay on cold, but when I melted it on warm, it really came to life. And I loved that one. I would love to see Just Vanilla come back. It's a very perfumey, floral vanilla scent. You definitely get the lily with it. And so this one is very similar, but you just have that added pink sugar. I cut this tub up and I melted it throughout my entire house. Maybe that was my problem. I tend to think with Teddy Bees that more is more. The bigger chunks, I get better throw from. So maybe I cut this into too many pieces, but I did it in the 9 warmers in the open concept, 3 warmers in this room, and then 3 warmers in my bedroom. And it was really light. I could smell it on occasion, like I would get that Just Vanilla fragrance on occasion. So you could tell that something was in the warmers, but it was definitely subtle. I had to be searching for it, and then I would just get the occasional whiffs of it, but it was much lighter than I would have wanted it to be. Now, this is not even a year old yet. Sometimes, you know, with scents like these, I've talked about Teddy Bees, like vanilla, bakery, you gotta let them sit a year. Sometimes longer, the better. There are a lot of scents that don't need that long of a cure time because they're just kind of stronger by nature, but scents like this, normally I try to give the year. But I was 11 months. I was pretty darn close. And like I said, maybe I just spread this out throughout too many places, but definitely was light, not one I would get again. I would get Just Vanilla again though. Another light one, unfortunately. If Nicole is watching, Nicole is going to be upset because this might be her favorite scent from Teddy Bees. This is Laid on the Beach and Strawberry Boom Boom. So this is Beach Treats, Marshmallow Clouds, layered with Strawberry Pound Cake and Boom Boom Cream. This was a layered souffle, and I have a tub of this left. This one also was really light. Now this one was poured March of 24, so well over a year old. I cut this souffle into 8 pieces and it went into the wax room in my bedroom. I could smell the strawberry pound cake the best out of this, but again, another one that was very light. Now, I've changed a lot of the warmers in these 2 spaces recently. I guess not so much in this room, but in my bedroom, I got a new bed, I got new bedroom furniture, I changed some of the warmers, and I don't have hot plates in there like I used to. And I'm thinking that could be a problem. Like I'm thinking I need to add a hot plate into that room, because I do think hot plates with vendor wax, and in particular with Teddy Bees, does the best. So I don't know if it was just the scent for me, or if I maybe need to play with my bedroom a little bit more and play with the warmers, because I need to get good throw from Teddy Bees in there. So maybe it was just the scent. We'll have to see. I haven't melted a Teddy Bee souffle in those new warmers yet, I don't think. So I need to do some experimenting and figure out what's going on, but not one that I loved. Like I said, I do have a tub, I'm pretty sure. So I probably will melt that tub in my open space this next time and see if I get a different performance there. Okay, and then I went through 2 loaves. So I'm the type of person that once I chop into a loaf and start warming it, I probably will just melt it until it's done. I might not melt it, you know, back to back every day, but over a few days, you know, I might skip a day or 2 here and there. I usually will finish the loaf. So I went through a marshmallow cake by the ocean. And this was the first time that I had melted this scent. This was one that I bought 2 loaves of sight unseen when this was offered in the pre-order because I knew that I would love this, and I did. This is stunning. This is gooey marshmallow peeps, beach treats, vanilla lace, and buttery birthday cake. So this one's very similar to Surfside Sweet Shop, which you guys know I love that scent. It's actually in my melting basket. I've got that all chopped up ready to go. So heck, that might be a next week's empties. But this is just like that, but extra marshmallow, extra creamy gooiness. You get kind of the hints of the vanilla lace, which lends it to be a little perfumey. If you like Surfside Sweet Shop, or just her beach treat bakery scents, cozy cookie cake, you would love this. And this was a great performer. Put this in my open concept 3 times, I think, in the last week. Absolute love. And I've got 1 more loaf of that. And then lastly, we have a loaf of Witchy Woman. Absolute obsession scent of mine. This was the scent that got me into Teddy Bees. This was the first scent from Teddy Bees that I was like, what is this magic? I love this so much. And it was my gateway. It was my gateway to Teddy Bees. And I don't hear anybody else talk about it. And I feel like you guys are missing out. And when I was pulling this loaf, I realized that this was over 2 years old. And I'm like, has this really not been back in 2 years? I well stocked up on this scent when it was offered because I know how much I love it, and I know she doesn't offer it very much. So I have another loaf left, but now is when my brain is like, okay, when is she going to offer this? I need to get more of it because it's just one of those classic scents. It's very nostalgic for me at this point, and it's stunning, and I love it so much. You guys need to try this. We need to vote this one back. This is Warm Flannel, Blackberries, and Boardwalk Marshmallow Clouds. Something about the flannel mixed with that ever so macerated blackberry, the beautiful Boardwalk Marshmallow Clouds. This is a very perfumey, feminine scent. A powerhouse. Again, I melted this one throughout my open concept like 3 times. This is a strong performer. You will be able to smell this. It lasts the whole day. It is so good. So I loved every second of this. It's been a while since I've melted it, and I will definitely be savoring the last loaf of it that I have until it comes back. Okay, that is it for empties this week. I think that was long enough, so I will get out of here. But I really hope that you guys enjoyed seeing everything that I have melted recently. Thank you so very much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.